rookie Russell Wilson. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Broncos and the Raiders on Monday Night Prime Time.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Tonight it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. It's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go. But they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And they will elect to not bring this one out, as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Before the game, when I said hello to him, I tried to give him a little dap, but he wouldn't give me any, and I thought he was snubbing me. But then I realized he's keeping all that flame to himself. How about the week he had last week? AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up with Sutton. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Raiders, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go play action with Wilson. And right away, he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time. Wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Throwing is Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there were many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster, and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
There he goes, right side. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Throwing Jones. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Raiders at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display. And
there he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Jonathan Taylor, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be caught by Sutton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Max Crosby in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get it down to the here. He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs. Now Jones. Complete to his target, Jalen Hyatt. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw. Jones. Looking Hyatt's way once again. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Back to throw. Jones. Hearns brings it in. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 of the 6. A nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run here with Taylor. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jonathan Taylor with career touchdown number 75. And the Raiders have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down. You look at this Raiders defense. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
To throw is Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. For over the middle, taken in by Dulcich. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down, take the completion, keep moving.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. Jones. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost getting into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. Back to throw. Jones. Complete right side to Hyatt. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now Jones on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. Touchdown! Chuba Hubbard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 20. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Jones. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Jones.
He's got his target. That's complete. Down the sideline he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Jalen Hyland, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders continue to pull away here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Denver's offense now set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he's going to go down again.
Tyree Wilson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Tyree Wilson drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Looking to throw. Jones. This is caught. Touchdown Raiders.
Michael Mayer,
25 yards for the touchdown.
and the Raiders open the lead up to 34-0.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now. Another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was finished off by a Michael Mayer touchdown grab.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So the Broncos coming out now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On second down, Wilson. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas.
He's still on his feet. Michael Thomas. And all the way home for a Bronco score.
Michael Thomas, 75 yards.
And the Broncos are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Jones now on first down. And this is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Completes it to Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Tucker. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Jones throwing on first down, eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Short throw caught by the tight end, Oliver. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Carlson able to put this one through. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. Getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Devontae Smith, a touchdown catch in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Deebo Samuel leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. We saw a strong first half of play from quarterback Mac Jones. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters, as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3.
The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Down the right sideline. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Again, it'll be Taylor.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor
with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass.
Nifty move. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Going quickly here to Thomas.
His 2nd catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's 2nd down. On the counter, here's Williams. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And the Raiders have got him.
Tyree Wilson make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less.
Throwing is Wilson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Broncos.
Harrison Bryant from 8 yards out. And the Broncos are able to at least get 1 score back.
Rosas now to add the PAT. So they get 1 score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Throwing, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They run it again with Williams.
To about the 48-yard line. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. but think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
On second down, Williams.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together, as that brings up another 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Now Jones.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Trying to punch it in with Taylor. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They run once more with Taylor. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
This is taken at about the 14. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And out will come the offense as they take over. And coming out now, the Broncos.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect 2nd half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the 2nd half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the 1st.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
That'll give him 8 that time. And 3rd and 8 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to... 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Jones on 1st and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Hearns brings it in. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back to throw again.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Drew Sanders. And the Broncos are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
After the interception, here's Wilson.
A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Kenneth Murray drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taken right around the 44. And he'll go out of bounds after... down inside the 40. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
First down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Third and 5.
Now Cousins. That is caught. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. Straight ahead with Hubbard.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made there by Drew Sanders.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And they'll go again here with Hubbard.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get
touchdown. Michael Mayer
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On first down, Wilson. This is complete to Michael Thomas. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Here's Wilson to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton.
And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. To throw is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
In prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Las Vegas,
It's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.